Alright, here we have Dan Trachtenberg's most recent movie, where he wrote the first 20 minutes under a moonlight with a nice fine glass of wine beside him, and wrote the last 50 minutes under the influence of crack cocaine, while being waterboarded by Walt Disney. But, of course, I would be talking about none other than Predator Badlands. And, if you want to talk about it, sit down, let's have a drink. Alright, long story short, this movie was sickeningly bad. Oh, but what about the plethora of good reviews you've seen all over the internet, you ask? Now, I know movies are subjective, but there is a right answer here, and they're all wrong. But I've got like 2 pros, and I've got some cons. Let's start off with the pros, shall we? Alright, if it wasn't for the beginning of this movie, I would honestly be giving it a hard 0. This movie starts by entering us into the desolate but beautiful homeland of the Predators. Alright, quick prerequisite here. I have not seen every single Predator movie.
You're a phony!
More so anything that came after Prey. And I know these movies are classic, but sometimes they really put the ass in classic. That being said, I'm not sure if they've ever given us a look into the Predator's homeworld and where they come from. At least nothing to showcase. I mean, I haven't seen this much context given to the Predator since Mortal Kombat made him a DLC. Besides the environment, this movie starts off awesome, epic, all of the above. Here we're introduced to 2 Predator brothers. Wrong brothers. Here we're introduced to 2 Predator brothers. They stick us into this emotional, strained relationship between the Predator brothers and their, I don't know, I guess evil father? Aren't all Predators technically evil? Well, not after this movie. But I'll get into that. We haven't gotten to the cons yet. I mean, it starts us off with a little battle scene, some monster hunting. Only 15 minutes in and I was already begging for an EA video game. Truthfully, the way this movie started off, I was gearing up to see what could have been the best Predator movie in the franchise. But, spoiler alert, well, that's not what happened. Alright, again, soon as that movie hit the 15-minute mark, I really didn't like anything afterwards. But I did have to give another pro to the unique approach here. To give us a Predator movie where for once the Predator is our main character was just completely unique and well pitched. Personally, I feel like this should have gotten this 20 years ago. There's almost no humans in this movie, which at first was a concern of mine, but quickly became a great idea. Almost. I mean, at the end of the day, each Predator movie is a random alien warrior coming to kill a bunch of random humans over and over and over again. Now, again, I did not like this movie nearly enough to give it a decent score. And I know we're still in the pro section, but I will say this may have very well been the best plot for what may have very well been the worst Predator movie. Now, truthfully, I don't think we got to spend enough time with the Predator culture and the Predator family members. However, it was still enjoyable and completely piqued my curiosity. I mean, we walk into the Predator homeland, it's all, hey, this is my Uncle Ripper, this is my Auntie Slicer, my brother cut him in half, but then you get kicked out of the family home for having too much of a good time. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be it for the pros. Now on to the cons. I truly don't understand where all this damn hype is coming from. This is actually one of the reasons I became a critic of movies. Because the internet ceases to hype up every movie trailer that releases, and then becomes too prideful to admit anything when they realize it was a bad movie. But leave it up to a demon to tell you the truth. And the truth is, we did not watch the same movie. I'm not sure what you all watched, but what I watched was the alien version of Wolverine befriend the AI human version of Bambi for 2 hours, which is going to bring us to our first con. Thea the robot. The very moment that this goddamn clinker entered the movie, well, it immediately dropped 10 points. I would have an easier time finding the good in the Joker before I found the good in this character. I mean, this character literally, absolutely ruined the tone of this movie. Thea the robot quickly shows us that though you may have invisible armor, hail from a supreme warrior alien race, or even nearly indestructible dual-bladed gauntlets, pales in comparison to the power of true friendship. Fuck you. First of all, Thea the robot comes in and leaves absolutely no room for my thoughts. When I tell you that the second she appears on screen, all the way up until the credits, that this character did not stop yapping. She was on screen, but it felt like someone was talking during the entire movie. But it was her. It was her. Just non-stop dialogue that adds nothing to the scene. I think they try to sell this as the comic relief of the movie. You know, the robot who's kind of human and just never stops talking. The problem is I believe this may have actually worked too well. She actually became annoying. Honestly, I couldn't enjoy any part of the movie until she shut up, which only lasted for about 22 seconds max. The worst part is when every single thing she says is aimed to be funny. And it fails. Which brings us to our next con, Thea Part 2. Yes, this character single-handedly ruined the movie so much that I had to categorize it. This shit needs to be studied. I mean, this movie opens up no context. Raw, gritty, dark, emotional, but not too emotional, and action-packed. And then Thea the robot is introduced and gives us every single joke that did not land in the director's cut of Endgame. Even after a not-so-quippy, not-so-clever joke, she immediately hops into the next let's try to be funny again power move. And you could also tell that these jokes were clearly set up only for theater experience. It's like a joke your CEO might tell at a company meeting. Works in crowds for good manner. I'm not laughing at that bullshit. All of Thea's jokes were just so cringy that you felt forced to chuckle because the theater was just way too silent. Like she's just a fictional character on screen, but somehow I felt embarrassed for her. Honestly, I don't even know how this is possible. She's just a fictional character on screen, but somehow I felt embarrassed for her. You know what it was like? Imagine watching a Christopher Nolan Batman movie, but he has to travel with Marvel's Deadpool the whole time. Except Deadpool doesn't have his suit, and he's not Ryan Reynolds. Truthfully, every aspect of this character was just so bad. There are no redeemable qualities of her. And that's gonna lead me to her third category. Yep, we're still going. With Thea Part 3, we're gonna get into her emotional appeal. I mean, sure, why not? Let's take cringy, jokey, non-stop dialogue, and let's throw it under a fat blanket of unnecessary emotional appeal. Yes, for some reason during this entire runtime, our AI, no soul-having robot, insistently attempts to harness and understand the Predator's feelings. Because honestly, when I walked into Predator Badlands, that's exactly what I was searching for. The Predator's true feelings. Seriously, Dan Trachtenberg? I never needed some emotional reason why the Predators travel the galaxy and rip people's heads off. Not a single person asked for that, Dan. I mean, seriously, who the fuck actually wrote this pack of bullshit? Fuck you. At one point, Robot Thea puts on her best Tommy from Rugrats voice and just looks at the Predator and goes,
"So you've never had someone to look after you?"
At this point, I went to the concession stand and asked for a refund for all my snacks, because I barfed them all over my lap. Again, it feels like this truly came out of a Disney formula, like 8 plus 8 equals Mickey Mouse ears. Finally, I have an absolute responsibility to talk about the CGI here. Complete fucking overload. You know what, just in case some of you think I'm exaggerating, go to Google right now, type in Predator Badlands, and look at the cast. Well, that'll tell you how much CGI is actually in this movie. Now, it was Elle Fanning who had the unfortunate opportunity to play Thea the robot. There's a certain scene in the movie where it's just a still frame of Elle's face. And for some reason, instead of using Elle Fanning, they used CGI for a still scene. Nothing about this makes any fucking sense. You already paid the actor. Why use CGI? Ugh, good devil, this movie did nothing for me. If any of you actually had the chance to see 28 Years Later earlier this year, this will be very reminiscent of that. Starts off absolutely amazing. Some might even say promising. I was genuinely shocked at how this movie started off. But leave it up to AI to ruin everything good in 2025. That being said, I had to give this movie a 3 out of 10. Possibly my lowest score for a movie yet. 1 point for the Predator main character, 1 point for the beginning of the movie, and 1 point for the credits. Because I've never been so excited to see a movie end. But if you want to see a movie that follows alien characters, that's actually thrilling, actually written well, each character successfully progresses the plot, and humor that's not abysmal, well, I'd recommend the movie Monsters vs. Aliens. But I want to know what you think about Predator Badlands. Not really. But talk to me in the comments.